Hello folks, in my previous video about integration of ML and Docker, I have shown you that how we can put our models in Docker container and can create a container where directly we can execute the model and take the output. So this is on Docker Hub right now. It is public to all. Even you can download, and here is just a small command for it to run and the data set which I used. In this video I'll be showing you how you can actually integrate cloud like let's say AWS cloud with Docker, and how we can automate this process, automate the process of training inside Docker on cloud. So it is integration of 2 to 3 technologies together. So let's go and start. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm using AWS cloud, and I'll be creating an instance in which I'll install Docker, and then I'll expose Docker. Now there is two different things. Exposing container and exposing Docker are two different things. So in this video you will know how to expose the Docker itself, the socket of the Docker. Actually Docker has an API facility also, like we can connect Docker through API. For that we need to expose the socket of the Docker, or the port, or let's say the service of the Docker. So let's start. I'll use this Amazon Linux tool. If you don't know how to use AWS, just make a free account, then in the services search EC2. You will land to this page, and here just click on launch instance, then launch instance, select this instance. Actually we are creating a virtual machine on cloud, you can think like that. And in this I will be using, let's say, 16 GB RAM, because my data set is too big, and if I use 1 GB RAM or 2 GB RAM, it would give error while training the model. So it is better you select 8 or 16 GB RAM. It won't be free, but for this demonstration, or if you are using it as a server, or your load bearer of machine learning models or workloads, so you can go to 16 GB or 32 GB. Next, configure instance, leave everything by default, and give at least 30 GB, it's fine. Then I'll just name is at Docker. This is not necessary, you can leave this also. Here for now I am allowing all the traffic to flow to my instance, and finally I launch it. I'll add my security key, or let's say the key pair, then launch the instance. It would be up in, I think so, 1 minute or so. When it's up, then we'll connect to it, we will install Docker, and we will expose, or let's say we will make the Docker service to be public, for to be used, because this would be hosted in some public IP. It will have a public IP, it's a public domain, and we need to connect it with our local host, because our file and our model would be in our local PC, right? For me it would be in Red Hat. So I'll be using the same dataset which we used in my previous video, but the difference would be, now we won't already train, and we won't have the model directly trained. We will send this code and the dataset to Docker, which is running on AWS EC2 instance, which is this. It would train here and download the model again to our PC, our localhost. So this is the overall architecture which we'll be doing, and this would be automated. I have made a Python script for it. Okay, so let's start. So it is running. Click on it, and just wait for some time. This connect option would come up. So in AWS only, Amazon Linux 2 is the one which will provide you the web connection, like you can directly connect through web, this portal. The Amazon Linux is the only one which is providing this, and I think so, I'm not sure, but I think so Kali image, the Kali Linux image is also supporting, but you can go and check. Otherwise we can use Putty to connect it. So we'll be the root user, because we need to download some things and start the services. Then we will use yum package manager to install Docker. So it's very simple to install Docker in this AMI, because you might know that if you want to download it in Red Hat 8 or any machine, so we need to configure the repo, and sometimes we get errors, so many errors. So on cloud, this is, it's very simple. Now Docker is installed. Now we don't have to start the Docker service. Okay, now why we need to do this? Because when there are two commands, this is the command which we regularly use to create the container and stuff, and one is the docker daemon command for the daemon services. So we will use this command to actually expose our Docker. So for that, the command goes like this. You can check all these commands in the official documentation of the Docker. They have given this command there. What it does is it will write this. Actually, it will. There is a configuration file. Even you can edit that file, and it would be permanent for you. You don't have to run this command again and again. But for this demonstration purpose, this is also a way that you can expose your Docker, and this is also necessary for, you know, if you want to integrate Jenkins in case with Docker, then also you need to expose it. So for that you need to go to one configuration file. Now you can give any port number here. Let's say this is the port number, and it would expose the Docker which is running, and it would start. Okay, so that's why I told you don't run systemctl start or enable Docker. First run this command, it will automatically behind the scene do it for us. So it would come up in some time. Yeah, so you can see API listening on localhost 6969. So right now, if you are on your localhost, let's say this Red Hat, then we can connect to this Docker which is running on my cloud, and I can create instances on there. You won't feel any difference. Let me show an example. So for that, what you need to do is you need to add just one little line ahead of it. Just a minute. I want to read. Yeah. So this is my local host. Okay, this is my Red Hat. So in Red Hat I have Docker installed, but I am not going to use my Docker. I'll be using the Docker which is running on this cloud. Okay, so let me take the IP. It is 65.0.21.186. Okay, so add it here, add it in this command 65.0.21.186 and the port number which is 6969 in our case, and let's say we run ps. So this command will connect to the Docker running on cloud, and it would show the output on our screen. So this is the output which we are getting from the cloud instance. If I show you my local, so I am having one with container which is running, but this output actually goes to the cloud and shows to us. So if you don't have so much memory, or you can say so much space in your system, then you can use this trick. It's not a trick, it's a way to use the cloud and Docker. So we will use this basic command to do our stuff, and I have already made the Python script for it. So this is the Python script. What it does is it would connect directly to the mentioned IPs, and right now the IP is changed. I already created one earlier, and it would do the basic stuff. Like if you know the Docker commands, then now it is very easy, right? So this is for the starting the process, like starting the container. This code is for copying the code, and this code is for copying the data set on the container. Then this will execute the Python code, and it will create a model, and finally this is the command to copy back the model created from the container to our local system, and finally it will delete the container which we created. So this is a very basic script. You just need to know this trick, that how you can expose the Docker and how you can use it in Python or any language or any SDK. So let me directly show you the command how to run it, like how this Python file is being made. I'll push it to GitHub, and I'll give you the link to it. So right now I need to make one change. This is the Python script which I made, docker ml. In here I need to change this IP. So even you can if your the server is running for long, then you can hard code it, or otherwise ask the user to do it. It's on your choice, but this is, I'm just showing you how you can use such tips and tricks to automate such things, like automate your ML workload. So right now what I am doing, I'll be automating my workload. Now how, let me show you the full command, how this command will take the input. So it's a Python script, so Python 3 docker ml, this is my Python file, and first of all we need to give the image name. So I already create an image scikit-learn which is on my Docker Hub, so you can also pull it, just pull my name and this name, it would be downloaded in your system. So it would download, let me show you that. So if I go to this instance, then I'll pull it here and I'll show you. It is better to pull it beforehand itself, so that it won't take time while we run the docker ml command. So it's docker pull and my container name, so it would download from the Docker Hub. And now you can use my email. In this image there are some basic Python libraries pre-installed, like scikit-learn, numpy, panda, joblib, and etc., which we will need to finally train the model and make the model out of it, like to save the model. So this is the image. You can, if you have your own image, then replace this this by your image. Then this is the container name which we need to give. Now this is the file, this is the Python file. Now one more thing, you need to run this command. Let me just show you. From the folder where you are having everything, like temp, temperature, water, salinity, Python file should be here, and your data set bottle.csv should be here, and the Python script obviously. And then you need to run this command, so that everything would be from this directly only. The model which will be trained will also be downloaded in this directory. Okay, so right now you can see there is no pickle .pkl file for the model. It's pickle, pkl is for pickle. Then you need to give the data set, then you need to give the name. This name is exactly same which you give it here in the Python file here. So this needs to be same as we mentioned at the last. So this is the final command, and if you hit enter, so what it will do, it would create the container. Then it will it has already copied the Python code. Now it is copying the data set. It is huge, so it will take some time. So right now let me show you that the container will be created here. If you run docker ps, you will see we have created ML model, which I gave the model name, and it is using my image scikit-learn. And you can see that we ran docker command on our local system, and our container is being created on cloud. So this is how we can integrate cloud and docker. And we can, right now I am doing, I am not using my current system RAM. I have uploaded everything to cloud, and my ML workload is running on the cloud and inside a docker container. So this is a small integration of, you can say, machine learning, like DevOps and the cloud for machine learning. So it would take some time because the file is very big. So for that time being, let me explain you the machine learning code. The docker ml code with the script I made. I have used sys module for taking the default argument. Like right now I am passing the argument right to the Python file. this is the argument. This Shubham Bhalala scikit-learn is an argument. ML model is an argument. So to take that argument, I have used the sys, and it has a module called arg. Yes, so our command is completed, and you can see everything is done successfully, and it also delete the container right now. Like in previously, I showed that this container is running, and now it is not running, and it's not even in the stop state. It's removed completely. Okay, so there's everything is neat and clean. And finally, if you do again ls, so you will see your model, like the package of the model being saved on your local system. So this is the pickle file. It contains all your weight and biases of the model. um, and one more thing, for time being, this particular script is only for, you know, some regression, anything which can be done on the sklearn library, not the TensorFlow, because my image is not containing that library. But if you want to, you know, if you want an image which have the deep learning or like modules of deep learning, I made it long back. It is TensorFlow, and I think so even this I'm not sure about the slave, but in TensorFlow you will have all the necessary items for deep learning processes, deep learning models. And I think so in slave you just try, I don't remember, but yes, if you replace this in this command, and you don't need any extra things to be uploaded in the file, then this will run for deep learning models also. So this is very useful for the people who are working in industry, because they have to sit back and they need to launch the instance manually. Sometimes they won't even know what the command does, and if they want to troubleshoot some problems, it would be a mess. So scripts like this will help you. I'll upload it in the GitHub, and I'll post it in the description or the comment. um, yes, thank you for watching this video.